Well, hello and welcome to Gmodism Total Nutshell. We're back into From the Depth, and this time I have, I did actually accept one battle versus the Draconia. Now we won't have a wide acceptance of all sorts of battleships to battle the Draconia, because it will be quite a chore to make that, and the FPS is kind of not so good. So I've tried to mitigate the issues by recording it via my streaming computer. That makes it all sorts of difficult for me to actually make it like, yeah, it makes it very difficult because I need to like transfer files back and forth with like USB sticks, and it's a weird setup, but it works. But talking about setups. Setup has challenged the Draconia with the Rhyne-O, which you can see is a very Rhino inspired craft. It looks absolutely amazing, and if you think that you're wondering, whoa, Setup, who is this person? Well, Setup is the person who made the Turtle Lord. I think you have seen the Turtle Lord. It's a quite amazing build, and we did make a cover of it. We did check it out when it was new on the channel. If you did miss that, you should definitely check out his Turtle Lord. In any case, here we can see the Rhino. It is very cool. We will just dive through it a little bit quickly. It actually has some interiors and decks and stuff like this, so we need to dive through it. And you might wonder what the rules are. Well, the rules are as follow. Maximum 1.821 materials, basically my material limit, or lower. And Setup has submitted this ship with with a brave 100k well, cheaper price tag, which is quite amazing. So I will be very impressed if it indeed wins this thing. But of course, it's a severe disadvantage to have like 100k materials lower. And the other rule is maximum 4 repair bots. And from what I could find, I actually didn't see any repair bots on this thing. So the Draconia has 4 repair bots, and this one has no repair bots. So that's again a advantage for the Draconia there. And we can see we have some beautiful lockers and interiors and bunk beds. And you can really see Setup put some great thought into this thing. Incineration room. What? Can we just burn stuff here? Apparently. It's very cool. Yeah. So we're just checking around this deck here, and here we have this is obviously gold bars. It's a rich ship. A little block like that. It's looking very cool. And then we can go up here. So we can go up on deck here. And, well, we have some cargo areas like that. We can go up on a deck on several places, walk around. Very cool, very nice looking build. It's very, very nice. I must say I do like it a lot. And we have some mimicry wires going on there. And this is one of my favorite. It's a loading crane. You can see it looks, it's like, it has like control panels and like everything. Apparently Setup doesn't have as much time to build right now, but I do look forward to the day Setup will get back to building, because we surely see some amazing designs here. And you can see here, it almost looks like a reception area. And we have some azipods. Won't these kind of collide? In terms, won't this like collide in terms of propulsion? Doesn't it check for attached units? Well, there's a big azipod there, so that's cool. And some turning propellers internally there, very smart. Well, I think we must check the interiors here. We can walk up here. We have some other areas. A lot of interior. Oh! Stop sniffing helium. Okay, so we got we got a little we got a little talking podium there with some messages to, I don't know, help the crew get off its helium addictions. Well, in any case, we can go up here. Ooh, and here we come up to a little above deck thing here. That's very nice. And we can go like that. And one other thing I thought about for like Draconia battles, like if you really want to submit a like Draconia battle, it's not open. I won't take submissions openly because while it's very cool, it's difficult for me and the FPS turns really bad often. So the rules, if one would want to try and convince me to host a little battle between the Draconia and their ship, the rules are quite strict. It's maximum 4 repair bots, a material cost that's like mine, 1.834 million, 1.83. Yeah, you can see the cost in the upper left corner. That's the maximum cost. And no weird shenanigans, no even semi sheets. It should be a like honestly decent build. Nothing weird, nothing funny. Oh, it's like a flower kind of almost. It's like decoration, but in the same time it looks like a flower on top of or like some kind of plant thing on top of a vase. So that's kind of very cool. Yeah, and the last requirement is kind of harsh, but the craft has to be decently visually pleasing and not spam anything in terms of like, not spam like small small anti-missile missiles or anything like that. So no type of spam, no weird stuff, no cheese basically. And it has to be visually quite good looking. So, if you really want to, please send some pictures and proof. DM me on Discord, and I might accept it or I might not accept it. But yes, because I like hosting 10 battles versus the Draconia is just a little bit too much for me. In any case. The Draconia, you already know the Draconia. Wait, isn't it? Is the other direction? Oh yes, that's the back of the ship. Oops. You already know the Draconia, but we're going to have a quick little look at it. So here we have auxiliary missile output, cram turrets, my new anti-missile missiles, a lot of vertical missiles, and a big missile like that, and some underwater weird stuff. Anyways, let us click play. And one thing, which I almost forgot, that is to turn off the nice settings. There we go. And we might get some better FPS. Oh lords. So we got the real stream of crams incoming. And they're pretty powerful though. Oh yeah. So, how are we doing here? The laser is Rhyne and Rhyne. Cool. New cram barrage incoming. My laser now focuses on shooting down incoming cram shells. I'm not sure that is too wise actually, because the cram shells won't stop coming in this case. It was more set up to fight border-wise, where his cram shell came very rarely. Ooh, it doesn't have any more power. It kind of falls down. And I think setup may have not a single anti-munition system actually. So did that big missile just miss? Oh lords. So we really can get through here. But in terms of materials, setup is clearly in the lead. Oh, here we have a big one. Poof. And that's a strong EMP surge, so if anything is just remotely not well protected, it will cause all sorts of issues. You can see it's like sparkling with EMP damage below there. So how is the Draconia doing? This turret is very sad. Many of the auxiliary guns are gone since long. My main APS cannon seems to be almost entirely down. Only one cannon still firing, but very inaccurately. The laser is lazen. And what is coming? What is the lamb trying to snipe, I wonder? It's like it's coming from weird angles. Is there some weapon I missed? Because it seems that setup is working with some pretty strong shells. And you can see, we do not successfully take out those. These are strong crams too. You can see we're lasing this with our main laser. And we're just not deleting the shells. We do damage them, so the damage in the shells are of course lowered. But still. Okay, so do we have any incoming torpedoes here? Because my anti-torpedo torpedoes are firing. Okay, so we have a lot of alloy bars and metal shell outside. So a pretty compact but efficient build. Very like Sharky. Megalodon. Alright. We are getting the stutters. My ladies and gentlemen, we are getting the stutters. So, whatever happens with my cram shells? Did that big missile miss again? Why? What are we doing? Oh, it missed. Will more come? Did it miss? Why did it miss though? Draconia is down to 86%. Okay. It misses the mortars as well. I wonder how the mortars are doing anyways. So the setup is still up at 93%, while the Draconia is down to 83%. So it's starting to look pretty dark for the Draconia actually. It's famous for fighting from the grave and beyond, but it might not be enough to win against Setup's Rhyne-O. Setup is a very skilled builder, and Setup is a good example of that you can make cram ships that are so good that they can challenge the strongest APS ships. that's, you know, that's something. Setup is proof that cram is a viable system. There we had a little missile though. So it does have some missiles too. A setup is also a great example of someone who makes aesthetically beautiful ships while still making really strong and efficient ships. Like really good ships. And some people seem to think that you either make good ships or you make good looking ships. And this is not true. That's just because some people care more about aesthetics and some people care more about function. I'm somewhere in the middle, and the setup is 2, while it's also a quite much more skill builder than me. But there we have some proof, at least. You can make cram ships that are really good, and you can also make good looking ships that still have great performance. And of course, Setup doesn't only use cram for his ship, but I do believe they rack home most of the damage. It also has some good APS systems, like that shot. Cram shells popping in here. The Draconia is very sad. I wonder why it missed so much earlier. And I wonder, is that... Yeah, oh yeah. So the laser is actually taken out and our turning capabilities are limited, so we can't really shoot back with more than only missiles for now. I think we'll definitely do this as a best of 3 video, because otherwise we won't get good conclusive results. But as it's best of 3, if it's the same winner on the first battle as the second one, then it's already decided, because that's like 2 wins out of 3, so yeah. So best of 3 is very good when we have like a single ship meeting another single ship. And here we can see I really opted for taking out the underside of ships here. And here is actually where Setup opted to have really thick armor. I am suspecting that this might indeed be particularly set up to deal with vehicles that utilize a lot of torpedoes and torpedo-y missiles, just like my ship. So, even though it has a 100k disadvantage, Setup's Rhino, thanks to well-built, powerful weapons and very good EMP protection, did indeed survive the first battle against the Draconia, which is quite impressive indeed. So let's follow one of Setup's cram shells. You can see, oh, that's some frag and explosives going on there. Here's one of my AI compartments. We have some really sad engines going on here. Oh yeah, very sad engines. Bam. 63 versus 91. And the Draconia will most likely not be able to survive this. No, it won't. But the cram shells? Ah, they don't even hit. Well then, bad aim. It's still fully functional. You can see these turrets here. They are still fighting on like basically nothing. Oh, somebody else has used some E-Rhine here. Yeah, used the staggered era for the Turtle Lord as well, so nothing new under the sun here, indeed not. Okay, so we have heavy armor wedges on the turret part. We did manage to damage the Cram, but you can see it has several barrels, so they are still active. Wow, it's just so resilient. And our lambs and anti-missile missiles, and they just won't take those Cram shots out, indeed no. Yeah, 59.9 percentages. Draconia is basically sinking. It's desperately firing some revolting blast guns, but we can't do much more. Oh no. This is a sinking ship, but it will take some time for this to actually die, and it will fight to the bitter end, but we can pretty surely know that it will not win this. So let's move on to the next battle. And here you can see we have the rules. Same, 2,000 meters apart. Draconia, Rhyne-O. I don't know if 2,000 meters is too close for this. Just for experiment's sake, let's try and set up 3,000 meters for like 2 really big ships. Maybe it makes sense. And then the game kind of freezes a little bit when we click the start button. You know what? I think GMODism might need to upgrade the computer. While we are indeed here, we will of course need to thank our beautiful patrons, our commanding officers in the army of GMODism. Did you know you can join the army of GMODism for free? Yes, you can. You'll just need to self-assign the role Matros 3rd class in our Discord, and you are in the army of GMODism. But if you want to be a commanding officer, it's Patreon. And we have Admiral LCG Canyon, Commander Ejin, Lieutenant Asteria, Cadet Marty McBacon, and Cadet Shark 93. So thanks a lot for supporting the channel. We will now start the second battle, and I will follow the shots here and see if our anti... Oh, we got one shell. But damn, that's the main laser. The main laser has had to actually zap one of the Cram shells for a while for it to die. It was not enough with the lambs. Yeah. Well, hopefully we will be a little bit more lucky this battle. We shall see indeed if we are managing to win this battle. Pyong. It's kind of like I don't know where that shell disappeared. I suppose damage... Oh, I think it damaged that one probably, yeah. It's interesting. And you can see that setup is optimizing for basically invisible shields. They are only visible when they are actually deflecting something, otherwise they stay hidden. Ooh, looks like our laser found something hot, which in this case is an engine in the front. Interesting. Now it switched targets, and that's to shoot at incoming Crams. And it didn't take long. Setup is already in the lead here. Very interesting indeed. I think it may actually not have anti-missile systems on it. Draconia down to 93%, while setup is still at 96%. Definitely in the lead once again. Ooh. These torpedoes are definitely dead in the water. It was not set up to fight at this distance, indeed not. That was a pretty solid hit. Almost. Very nice to hide the propellers, like in this type of setup. It's actually the same thing I did for the Draconia, and also Admiral LCG Canyon's upcoming super battleship carrier. Or super battle carrier, I will call it. You can see here, I've hidden the propellers. And as you've seen from previous battle, it is very rarely that someone does take out all the Draconia's propulsion forward. Draconia is unfortunately down to 88%, but the laser is still online, and that is the Draconia's main weapon. So it would probably be good if, in this particular battle, I think it might be useful if the Draconia's laser did not actually target incoming crams, but only try to do damage. Like randomly zapping off those cram barrels would probably be more useful than trying to shoot the incoming shells, because even though there are so many, they're quite strong. Here we have the APS cannon. That could be lovely if we try to zap. It's a railgun. You saw that? Yeah. That is a railgun. And seems that only one barrel is online, or? Well, it's definitely... No, they're all online. Never mind. I guess that was just wishful thinking. Here we go. Setup is at 83%, while the Rhino... the Draconia is at 82%, while setup's Rhino is at 94%. So it's clearly in the lead again. But the Draconia can usually go down pretty low before it actually stops dealing damage and has no chance to win. So even at 80%, I think the Draconia still has a chance. Because it's a lot of wood in it, so it's a high risk. It actually gets damaged pretty quickly. So we can see that little blast with the laser didn't actually get fully in the turret. Now we are doing some good work, sniping some barrels. But it gets distracted by the constant barrage of cram shells. Ooh, that setting was good against a doom crammer like Borderwise, but against the cram barrager as setup, this is not probably the way to do it. Oh no. I wonder how close they are now. I guess we can fly up a little bit into the air and just have a little overhead view. Wow. The setup's Rhino is so fast. And the constant stream of our small missiles won't actually do a lot of damage. Oh no, we almost got a hit with some mortars there. Yeah, well, it's fun to see them hit sometimes. See, we are not able to take out any of those cram shells that's incoming. Oh man, it's just they just keep coming. I'm surprised how many of them missed though. Okay, setup 92%. Is it that still? And he won't have any repair button, this thing. Quite impressive. Well, that's thick though, that's so much alloy. This is a true alloy brick, my man. It's like more than the Megalodon, yeah. Wow, that's thick. And they are pretty well protected. The Draconia hasn't disabled an important system here in a while, man. And now the new barrage is incoming. I wonder how we're doing under the water. Like, won't these do any damage? They should deal some damage. Against this thick metal slab, they just don't really do enough damage. Nope. Should have been huge missiles or something like that. And I haven't seen them in a while, actually. What's up with our big, expensive missile system here? Is it damaged, I wonder? It seems to be quite online. And we do have the side large missiles too. Oh, there we had one. So I'm quite curious to just follow one of these larger missiles or larger torpedoes and see where they lead. Draconia is down to 96%, but Setup's Rhyne-O is down to 89 now. And it's standing still in the water. Maybe we actually have a chance. Extremely late game if we do get a chance, but man. Wow. Probably not. Setup has some great EMP protection. It's still moving, it's not that in the water at all. Most of our mortars do miss, unfortunately. And it feels like these like small missiles. Oh, that's like a diff broadside, isn't it? Darn. Scary for sure. And our laser, it's trying to zap that shield because it's hot. Wow, that's just so much area to zap out. Especially when we're at like 65%. Quite impressive. Is this one of the diff shells? Is this a disruptor to weaken the shields? Kinda amazed that the laser is still online at 64%. That's quite lucky. Wow. The entire front of this ship is like missing, hollowed out missing. It has been only 6 in-game minutes. As if. And Setup's cannon seems to be quite resilient against heat missiles too. Heat missiles is a great way. It's a great way to take out enemies. It's a great way to take out enemies. Turrets actually, because a lot of them doesn't have like really good armoring. Here we can see we also have some like internal shields going on there too. All right. Okay. Both of them has a lot of materials. Of course the Draconia has more, but the Draconia is closing in on the 55% mark, which is quite unfortunate indeed for me. Setup's Rhyne-O is fighting valiantly still. It's doing a good job. It doesn't show any signs of weakness. This behemoth is definitely a very formidable battlecraft. And we do have to love the multi-barreled designs. Some cramshells. Oh, and that's it, isn't it? 55%. Well, Setup's Rhyne-O has been able to win this battle 2 times in a row with a significant lead, even though his craft is 100,000 blocks below the mark. So that is very impressive indeed. Well, I do have to say, very good job, very good ship you have made. It's definitely stronger than the Draconia. But I did learn a lot making the Draconia, so the Draconia will never receive any upgrades. No, I will make some new cool battleships, but the Draconia is finished. We are going to have a rematch between Borderwise Titanslang and the Draconia, because even though he did win the battles, he won the battle being a submarine half of the time. And that's probably outside the rulebook, so it's, well, it should be fair. It should be very fair to have a rematch. It should actually be unfair to not have a rematch. Well, well, well. These swarms of medium heat missiles would, in most cases, eat up most crafts' undersides, but not this time. The Rhyne-O is a little bit too thick underneath for that. Well, this battle is 8 minutes in game. Are you kidding? So yeah, that's the thing. It's a little bit... I would love to upgrade my computer so I can have bigger battles without lower FPS or anything weird like that. But right now I don't have that, so maybe in the future I will be able to put some YouTube... I don't know. I'd be able to afford a pretty nice gaming PC, and at that point we could do some better battles. But for now, we are with this system, and we can do almost whatever we want. We just can't have huge FTD battles. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this little video, and very beautiful ship setup. It looks really nice, and it is surely a formidable craft that does indeed win a best of 3 battle with a good margin both times. So we cannot else than conclude that Setup's Rhyne-O is a better ship, a cram ship, and good looking. Well, in any case, thanks a lot for watching. This is your host, Gmodism, and we have been watching the Draconia battle the Rhyne-O. do stay tuned. I'll see you next time. This is your host Gmodism, signing out.